Hello. Hello, hello. Ah, I did. I accommodate clients when I need to that have other jobs, and I try not to go outside of my normal schedule, but I have a couple people that I don't have, I have to help out so that, or at least I feel like that's, the thing. So yeah, I had an earlier morning consultation call that ended up a little bit longer than it should have been, but um, I was out of coffee. I had had my 1 cup, and as you can hear, I need all the help I can get because you never know. I might start sounding like a squeaky prepubescent boy in any second. That's what I sounded like last night. So yeah, so my voice sounds horrible, but I am feeling a little um, less congested. I don't know. We'll see. I'm expecting that. Well, you know what? I'm not putting that out there. I have 4 more calls after this today between 10 and 3. And then tomorrow I have morning chat, Chris's call, 1, 2 consultations, text call, and another consultation. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 hours tomorrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 hours today of talking that I, not including any talking outside of the calls. And then another 2.5 hours on Friday. So my voice really isn't going to be getting much of a break. And I'm hoping that the medicine is going to keep working. And I won't actually lose my voice completely. I might need to, excuse me, reach out to my doctor. But good morning, beautiful ladies. I hope that you are having a wonderful morning. Yeah, we might have to cut this one a little bit short. Just keep your pants on. I'll take you out as soon as I get done. Yeah, right up to the brim. Yes, always. Right up to the top. Yep, I've already taken like 4 or 5 sips off of this. And I'm buying the chicory coffee and adding more chicory to it. So Robin says you should cut it short to save your voice. Yeah, I think I will. So I have the paid members call today at noon Eastern time. So if you're a paid member, be sure to jump in there. I have worked out what I'm doing for the deductions course for May. I have to get like I have to do the Facebook group. I have to do the sign up form. So there's some back end stuff that I have to get done. But this is how it's going to work. I haven't figured out the time of day yet, but all the calls will be recorded and be in the Facebook group. It will be a private Facebook group for just the people that are in the course. So there's that. It's going to be for the month of May. And what? Goodness, what? 2 calls a week for the month of May. The first call, I'm going to like deep dive into specific expenses for your business. And then there may be a little bit of Q&A, and then you're going to have homework to go look for these types of expenses inside your business. And then the second call is going to be Q&A about those categories. So I'm gonna kind of probably mix up some of the categories. They're not gonna be like in order. I'm gonna mix them up a little bit so that we get ones that are tend to be a little more complicated with some that are easier. It's going to be for any business, and it's $75. One time, $75, and you will have lifetime access to the replays on the calls. So, or at least, we'll just do that. So it's literally coming, like it's all coming to me the more I think about it. And then I had a meeting with a coach yesterday, and I kind of spit all this stuff out, and it's like, look, these are the things. What are I gonna do? Good morning, Larry. These are all the things that I've got going on. This is what I want to do. I want to align it up like this. I don't know how to do the marketing, but that'll happen. I've got, people that I can send it to, people that I can start with. And then, so yeah. So I'm super, super excited about seeing it actually come to fruition. And like pulling people out of this like head in the sand thing about deductions and helping people get more, keeping more money in their pockets. It's literally, I'm legally trying to help you not pay the tax man. We also talked about me amplifying, like picking one of my, how I am and just amplifying that trait. And I'm totally, hey, let's do this right where we are, how we are, when we are, and, not try and sugarcoat, not try and be anything. So, hey, if I cuss a little bit, I cuss a little bit. If you don't like that, I'm sorry. That you don't like that. I don't want to lose anybody, but I don't want to feel like I have to second guess everything that I say either. So, about all the calls. Yeah, it's a little bit busy, but that's a good thing, right? I am actively growing my business, and at the same time, I'm actively putting infrastructure into my business to handle the growth. So I'm excited about it. I'm also a little worried's not the right word. Just, it's like when you put infrastructure and you become responsible for other people's lives, and So I need to make sure that I'm making all the right decisions so that I am protecting not only my livelihood, but the livelihood of the people that that are doing work for me. Larry says, for the expense, am I able to claim gas? I do claim the miles. Okay, you can claim one or the other. I suggest, well, here's the thing, right? If you claim the gas, you still need to claim the miles. Not claim, you need to count the miles. So you still need to keep track of all of the business miles. Unless it's a business-owned vehicle, then you have to keep track of all the miles. If you are keeping track of all the miles, why not go ahead for 2024 and keep track of all of the actual expenses? And when I say all of the actual expenses, I mean gas, car wash, oil change, new tires, any upkeep, windshield wiper blades. It doesn't matter. Anything to do with that car, keep track of those expenses, right? And then when we get to the end of the year, we can look and say, okay, you drove 51% or more of your miles as business. So that means that you can take 51% or more of the actual expenses on your taxes. Which one is a bigger number? Okay, it looks like the actual expenses may end up being a bigger number this year. Do we think that that's going to continue for next year? If we think that that's going to continue for next year, then it would be a wise move to go ahead and change over to actual expenses. If we don't think it's going to continue for next year, then maybe we stick with the miles, because once you change to actual expenses, you can't change back unless you get a new vehicle. Now, the new vehicle, you get to do the exercise all over again. Larry says, okay, I can do that. Robin says, is keeping track of miles mean just in your workbook, or do we need a backup to do that along with the workbook? Just in my workbook. What's in the workbook is fine. Yeah. So what you would do is, in the workbook, you would put all of your actual expenses. You would categorize them into car and truck expense, and you would keep all the miles. And then at the end of the year, during next tax season, you're going to have to remember. You're just going to have to uncheck that box in the pivot table so it doesn't get counted as expenses, so that you're not counting things twice. You don't want to count the mileage coming in and the car and truck expense in the little green box on the total snapshot page, right? So in the pivot table, you can do the drop down menu and uncheck the box for car and truck expense. That way that's not going in. Larry says, yeah, the car is a new one this year. Okay, so again, you have to decide that. So if you're taking actual expenses, you get to depreciate the car. If you are taking mileage, you don't get to depreciate the car. All right. So there's that too. So you could literally have the car depreciated in 5 years, depending on the vehicle. So technically before you had it paid off, depending on what your loan is. Vic says, with great power comes great responsibility. That's an absolutely true statement. I'm not sure who that has the great power. Um, Although I do feel like I have a huge responsibility to my audience to make sure that you guys are protected and that you're keeping as much money in your pockets and you're legally not paying the tax man. So yeah, that's my goal. All right, so yeah, that's about. So Larry says, okay, I'll work on keeping track of everything. Perfect. If you're using my workbook and you need some assistance on how to uncheck that box, I will do a short video clip and drop it in the Facebook group on how to uncheck the box for so that you aren't counting your mileage and your actual expenses during the year. Sherry says, does a auto lease make sense these days? That I'm not great with the whole auto lease thing. There's a lot to it. If you are leasing an auto, I know that you cannot do actual expenses. You can still do mileage. And you have to be careful. So you have to be careful about the miles that you're going to drive. So I don't know. You would have to get more information about the lease itself, because I think that is more, whether it makes sense is more about the lease than it is about the taxes. Larry says, I have the workbook, but for some reason it won't let me do anything. I tried to put in the miles. Okay, so my first thought is that you didn't save it and open it as a that it's locked. It's not locked. What's it? It's in you have to save it and open it up in Excel, or you have to save it and open it up on Excel online. It doesn't work in Google Sheets. There is a couple other things that it will work in. All the links are where you downloaded it. But I'm thinking that it has something to do with how you have it open. Like if I open something, I don't even have anything I can just go click and open. If I go to somebody's website and I just click and open something, I don't have permission to go in and change anything until I save it to my device. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not really great at the text, at trying to explain the tech stuff. I can do the work. But there's a lot of nuances, different computers, you get different things. So I struggle with that aspect. Larry says, nope, I didn't do that. So try that. And if it still doesn't work, then I will see what I can do. I just how do I look at last year's return to know which way I claim? I'm pretty sure that you claimed mileage, not actual. Most people claim mileage, right? Most people don't do the work to claim the actual, because mileage is so much easier to do. So, and because you have to do both anyway. But if you did your taxes online, you can look back at the account, and like if you use OLT, then across the top when you log in, it shows the different years. You can click on the previous year. You should have saved a copy of your return from last year into well, y'all know how I feel about that particular platform that I won't even mention. But even still, you can go back and log into that account from last year and look at your previous tax return. And when you get there, go ahead and download it and save a copy local. All right. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call this one. Thought the 990 might show. I don't understand. Yeah, the Schedule C. It will. You just need to open your taxes from last year. Everything is there. So when you go onto that other website and you go download your taxes, yeah. So yeah, it's on the Schedule C. It's on page 2. Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry. I misunderstood what you meant. That's the struggle with the chat and then having to wait. So if you look at, let me see. How do I do this? Share screen. Haha. Share screen. Okay. Here we go. Oh my goodness, look at this. I feel so special. So here's your Schedule C. Scroll down to the second page. Part 4. When did you place? This is your business miles. And then the questions. So if you claimed business miles, if you claimed mileage, this part would be filled out. Unless some idiot, well, no, I'm sorry. You did it on that particular website. So it should be here. I've seen tax preparers put it in the wrong flipping place. But since you used that website, you put the stuff in, it would be here. And then there's going to be an amount under car and truck expense, but it's going to be the dollar amount from this number here. Okay. If you're still here and you're still watching, hit that thumbs up button, pretty please. And I'll be back in the morning. Whether I have a voice or not, I'll still be back. I might be miming to you. I might just be waving, but we'll see. Hopefully, I won't be worse. Sorry about the tissues, but hopefully I won't be worse. Hopefully I will actually be improved. I mean, I'm like feeling better, but I'm not sounding better. So we'll see what happens tonight after today. All right, everybody have a great day. Again, hit that thumbs up button. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you in the morning.